literally tearing my shit up. I was like, you know what, fuck around and find out. If you find that shit out, the who fault that is, you should have mind your motherfucking business. It felt like I was literally on an episode of Narcos. Like, she was really just walking in like,
soy el fuego que arde tu piel, soy el agua.
Okay, you got me there.
I'm back, and when I say that I almost forgot to make this, y'all, I have some clothes in the background folded. I'm not about to unfold them for y'all. I'm sorry, and put them up. I took 2.5 50 mgs. So, okay, so today I'm about to tell y'all the story about how I literally almost got arrested for the first time. I don't know why I'm leaving out points, but I was almost arrested at the border. The Canadian border. Say it with your chest. Don't be embarrassed now. You want to do the fuckery. I just discovered my camera has this feature where I could make it zoom out. I'm scared to film with that feature, y'all. I'm gonna film that feature when I do a video that's not important, because this won't have to be out tomorrow. I'm telling y'all the time that I literally almost got arrested at Canada border on Valentine's Day. And I'm not even joking, y'all. This was most definitely the biggest eye-opener to me, because I swear to God, I just thought I will always be ignorant. When I say, like, my life just now could have just changed in a totally different way over some shit that I just did not think was so deep, but it really is that deep. Let's get into the story. I'm gonna be doing my makeup Valentine's Day week, because I think Valentine's Day fell on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, y'all. Hold on, let me pull out my calendar. Yeah, it fell on a Tuesday. So that Sunday, the 12th, me and Salem had decided that we was gonna go to Canada. So I had told Salem how I went to go somewhere for Valentine's Day, because I literally was tired of being home. Like, it was to the point where I have never been home for so long. We didn't want to fly because our friend Keys was flying into town on the 15th of February, and we knew that we was not going to be back after Valentine's Day if it also included a flight. So we was like, let's find somewhere we can drive, and this particular spot was called, I think, like Quebec, Canada, or something like that. So it was literally a beautiful Airbnb, and Salem books the Airbnb. So we decided we was gonna drive, and we was gonna just cross the border by driving, right? I never been through the border before. Like, I just be flying. Like, I ain't never drove past no border, and I don't know the protocols, and the only time I ever seen them is in Good Girls when they was crossing the border. But if they able to get through that hole with coke and not booger sugar, you're telling me I can't get through? So the day we're supposed to leave, right, I pack our stuff, and me and Salem get on the road. So before we had left, I was still packing our stuff, and Salem went to the shop to get stuff for our trip. I know what y'all thinking. You're a dummy. You're a fucking dummy. I'm not that fucking dumb for real, because I always prep, I always plan. So Salem was like, he went to get some like splits for our car ride, because we were like 5 hours out, and you know, we was just like, of course we're gonna be puffing and, you know, having fun on our trip. When he goes, I asked him to grab me a Eddie, because I do smoke, don't get me wrong. I'd rather just take an clearly. I put everything in the dashboard, because like, also too, with like long trips, you don't want to drive with your stuff just out in the open, just in case you ever get pulled over, you know what I mean? Because even if you're not smoking, if they see it, they're probably going to give you some hassle for it, even though it's legal and stuff. So you have to just be careful, and that's what I did. But see, I wasn't really thinking about the border, because I didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't know if you had to get out your car and then like walk into it. Like, I just did not know what to expect. So I was just winging it right along with Salem, because he also too had never been through the border. But I had asked my best friend when she went through the border, what was the process? Did they make you get out the car? She said no. All you did was like pull up to like something like you go through if you're paying a toll, and then they just ask you questions, and then they ask your intentions on being there. I've been through customs before and all that stuff, so I was like, okay, seems fine. We start our journey, and we make it to the fucking border, and everything just goes to shit. So before Salem and I had touched the border, we ended up getting in an argument. So we barely had spoke. Maybe we would have been more like aware if we wasn't in this like midst of like a mini argument. I started a conversation when I seen that we was about to hit the border on like the little tolls and stuff, and I started talking to him, and then he was talking back. So I was like, okay, we ain't mad at each other no more. And bitch, this ain't the time to be mad going to a whole nother country, ho, because next thing you know, they think that you kidnapped me or something, because I will scream.
I don't know this man. Keep playing.
Okay, so the way it is, it's like literally like a fucking toll, and then it has the booths that's open, it has the ones that's not, and then you're able to just like pull over a little bit, you know, gather your shit and gather your stuff. So that's what I did. Salem had smoked probably like 2 hours before we pulled up to the border. So to me now being oblivious and like used to the smell, and again, I take 100% fault in this, because were stupid. Me not like probably being immune and just not even preying, I genuinely felt like the car did not smell like smoke. I rolled down the window multiple times when Salem was in the car because I try to stay on top of like keeping our together, so if anything happens and if we do get pulled over, the cops don't give us no goddamn problems is what I'm basically trying to get at. So when we pull up to the border, y'all, this bitch, I ain't even gonna lie, that was honcho, okay? That bitch, I was like, oh, like you could see the on them and all that. We rolled down the window, and when we rolled down the window, oh my god, like this is literally giving me PTSD all over again because what's like this should never have happened to me in the first place. So when we get to the border, she starts asking us questions casually, right? And at first I wasn't nervous, but it was the way that she was asking the questions. Like she asked the question like she already knows. So she asked me, why we're here. We tell her Valentine's Day. And then she asks me if I need to declare anything over $10,000. I'm like, no. So then she asked me if I had alcohol in the car. Now, listen to this shit. So me and Salem stopped and got gas, right? So while me and Salem stopped to get gas, I purposely did not tell y'all this because this is how my mind was working. When we pulled up to a gas station, I seen through the window that they had wine and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be our first night in Canada. We have a hot tub, like duh, we're gonna wanna drink some wine and be on the side of the hot tub. So I go in the fucking gas station and I buy 2 bottles of wine with my fake. I brought 1 bottle of wine, 1 and 2 wine coolers, like literally like 1 mixer and then 1 wine cooler. So I'm gonna just say 1 bottle of wine. So when I did that, I just went back in the car and I just went back on the ride. So when she said to me, do you have any alcohol? You have to tell me. I could tell she already like mad suspicious. Like she's like, you sure? Every time I answer a question, she'd be like, you sure? So like that's making me think hard now, like about it. And then I was like, oh, I do. And I was like, it's just 1 bottle of wine though. And I'm glad that I declared this because listen to this fuckery, bro. I'm so glad I told her yes. I end up saying, oh yes, we do actually because it's 1 bottle of wine. So when I say that, I'm thinking, okay, I'm honest because like I said, it wasn't in my mind. Like, bro, when I went to that gas station, it was like an hour and a half, until we made it to the border. We had 30 minutes left on this trip and before all this went down, y'all. I wasn't thinking, so when she had asked again, I was like, oh, actually, yes, I do. I have a bottle of wine. She automatically, like this really was on my fucking body, bro. Like this automatically she went and because we at this point we had gave her our passports and everything, so I was like, oh yeah, we do have a bottle of wine. She literally took the fucking booklet and went and was like automatically she was like picked up my passport, and when she did that, clearly I knew she went to check how old I was because why do you have alcohol and you're only 19 years old? I was like, oh. So I ended up being like, you know, oh my god, I feel like this video is so incriminating and I don't know why, but maybe me being, I should not tell all the details of it. She was like, how old are you? Because I do have family who lives in Canada. So I was like, gave me it as a gift for my family in Canada if I want to stop by and see them because it's my first time visiting. I was like, I don't know if that makes sense. And she was like, no, it doesn't. So then I explained it. I said, my gave me the bottle and said, if I see my family, this is her favorite wine, split it with them and have a cup of wine with them. And that's that. It's nothing else, just that bottle. Like, if that makes sense. That's the only alcohol product. This bitch was like, okay, and what about my...
Okay. You got me there.
Hold on, I didn't expect her to ask that. She says to me, and do you have any... And we was like, no. So then she was like, how about you, sir? And looks at Salem, and Salem's like, no. So then she's like, you sure? And then we was like, yeah. And she was like, because your car smell like it. Let me clear that up because I was leaving the part out, girl. She was like, because I could smell it through your car. So are you sure? I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna tell y'all what we had in the next because y'all, it really wasn't like for what me and Salem usually have because we wasn't thinking. She was like, what about you, sir? And then Salem looked at her and was like, no, he didn't have nothing. So then she was like, do you have any pepper sprays, firearms, any of those things? So then I was like, no, because I didn't. Like, what the f? I'm coming to your country to get fucked. So I was like, no. And then she was like, are you sure? Because you have to declare it. So then I start thinking, I'm like, oh, yeah, and I admit it because it wasn't even out the package. I've never used it before. Literally, like 2 weeks before then, Salem goes to the shop, the same smoke shop. Like, the man just gives Salem a pepper spray because we go to the store all the time. So she was like, you do? And I was like, yes. After she did all of that, she was like, So what I'm gonna need you guys to do is pull over to the side. And when you pull over to the side, I need you guys to go in and I need you to turn over all the stuff that you told me that you have. Salem had something else to turn over. I don't remember what it was, but he had something else to turn over. I can't remember. When she told us we had to pull over and everything, I automatically just knew. Like, she was like, and at the end, like, she goes, and they're gonna just have a look in your car and just search your car really quickly.
Question.
I just went quiet. So when she said they was gonna have people search the car, I automatically took the spliff or the pack of spliff, and then I just put it in my purse. Okay, clear it up. The reason I put it in my purse, y'all, was because we had to go inside the building, and they wasn't checking us to go inside the building, but they was checking the car. And since Salem was driving, I was scared that they might say, like, it was his possession because he's the one driving the car, if that makes sense. So then that scared me. So I was like, I'm gonna put it in my purse, because what I was gonna do, there was a cup of water in the car, but the man started walking up from the side, so I couldn't even freaking put the split. Like, what I was gonna do is put the splits in the water and shake the bottle quick. So, like, what you gonna do? It's wet. You got me there, but that is not a crime. You know what I mean? Literally, let me show y'all, because the stuff is still packed from when we went. Because, yeah, this was what I put it in. So, it was full with so much other stuff. And then I put it on my shoulder, and then I had my purse, too. Like, I wish I had more time, but you did not have no time. Like, y'all keep in mind, this is speeding. Like, this is like 30 seconds. Like, you don't have no time but to make one decision. And I wish I made every decision besides putting that shit in my purse. But then I'm like, okay, like, it's whatever for real. It's whatever for real. Like, you already went through it. It's nothing. I can't do shit about it. Like, I can't take that shit back. Hold on, let me calm down, because it's literally working me up, because it was so traumatic. I put the splits in my purse because when I took them out the dashboard, because I knew that was the first place they was gonna fucking go, I had an tray, and then I had a cup of water. What I wanted to do was drop the splits in there and shake it, and then just be like, oh, it's old, like that was what we used to use. But when I went to do it, the man fucking started walking up mad fast, and he came up on my side of the window. So when he did that, I automatically just dropped them in my purse, and then I started with the other splits that we had still. I just put the water in the ashtray. So, like, it just looked like, okay, they can't smoke this. How the they gonna smoke with something they can't smoke in the first place? So when I did that, when I got out the car, I knew that the spliff was on me. I just was like, I don't know what the I'm gonna do. I just wanted to just take the spliffs and just fling them. Bro, just fling them when nobody was looking type shit. Like, I swear to God, that's what I was just thinking to do. I didn't know what, wasn't thinking nothing. Like in that moment, y'all, I don't even remember if me and Salem was having a conversation. Like, I don't remember nothing besides just staying focused on making sure, like, these spliffs was somewhere, and I didn't have no plan. Like, I just wanted to make the smartest one. So I was like, I'm gonna just put it in my purse for I don't want him to go to prison. Like, I'm gonna just put him in my purse. I was ride or die. And that was the dumbest plan, because my car has so many contraptions, but like I said, this was like 30 seconds. Like, bitch, if that man would have pulled up to the window and seen me in the back seat, that would have been the first place he would have went. But y'all, it could have been so many places I put them, and I didn't. And I fucking did. I could have put them there, but like, I forgot. Dumb ain't mine. But they would have knew we was lying, because she said the car stinks like money. Because at this point, we know they're searching the car, and I know we have all this stuff in here, and I know Salem can't take any of it. The man comes up on my side of the window, and I take my purse, and when I took my purse to get out the car, as I'm walking towards the building, the lady, some big
supposed to be a sisterhood, and I don't feel a sisterhood right now.
Hold on, y'all. Let me do my lashes. I won't come back when my lashes done, because I don't want to waste a lot of this video just doing my lashes. I'm going to just do the whole makeup. 1 second. She rolled up on me, and she like, put that purse on the table, because every little section had a table, bitch. It felt like I was in the club. They was like, put your purse on the table. So I'm like, fuck. As soon as she said that, automatically every thing in me was like,
fuck, I'm going to jail.
I knew I had to. And of course, I'm not gonna let Salem take it. Keep in mind, I don't want to see none of y'all in here trying to bash him, talking about something. Oh, he's lame for letting you. No, bitch, I told him let me take it, because I am a citizen. I live here. She said, put your purse on the table, bitch. As soon as she said that, I was like, fuck yeah, bitch, you going to jail. Yep. We should never did this shit. So we're standing there, and I'm just watching her start going through my purse. So when she was like, empty your pockets. So at first, I'm just like, okay, no problem. I go to take my fucking stuff out my pockets, because I'm like, I don't have nothing in my pocket. Why the fuck do my wallet fall out on the floor, right? And then my fake ID fell out the wallet, because it wasn't zipped, and fell straight flat on the floor, face right up. Automatically, I start recording, because in this moment, they're only gonna do their job, which is arrest the fuck out of us. Like, at this point, I just start recording on my phone, and I'm gonna insert the clips of me, now, I guess.
All right, I just gotta check the pockets. Okay, turn around. Okay, you can pick your phone back up. You can go stand with your companion.
So it's 20 more seconds before this clip. In those 20 seconds, was panicking like a motherfucker. The only reason I'm not including it is because the man's face was kind of in it, because I was holding my phone secretly in the beginning, and then I put my phone face up by accident because she was making me so nervous, because she kept complaining about everything I was doing. Like, she'd be like, I didn't tell you put your stuff in your purse. I said put it on the table. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Then my wallet fell. Then all this stuff was going on. So at this point, like, everybody's reading that I'm nervous. Like, at this point, I knew it don't even matter if I'm nervous or not. They gonna open that purse and they gonna see what's going on. So Salem was like, just be calm. And I told him, I was like, this situation is making me very uncomfortable, like, especially because she was so intense. And like, the only reason I feel like she was like, you can go back over there with your boyfriend, because she tried to separate us at first, is because she seen when I put my phone down, it was face up recording. So I feel like they was like, oh shit, like they don't play that over here. Don't. I was so uncomfortable, and I looked, because as soon as she said put your stuff on the table, and she started telling me empty my pockets and the ID file, I started recording. And Salem said that from his perspective, my body language was very like nervous. So to them, they read this shit all the time. So they just see a nervous person, they automatically think I probably have coke up my and I'm in a bad situation for a black person. Like, you know what I mean? Every time they talk, they keep talking back in French and then coming back and then saying in English to us, but then talking in French again. So when my fake ID fell out, she picks it up and looks at it and then says something to him in French. So automatically I was like, okay, well, they just pointed out my ID. The other one was just talking to Salem, and he was like the chill one, and he kept saying to me, like, because I even told him, I was like, I'm very uncomfortable in this situation. And I told him, like, I mean, I'm uncomfortable. Like, I don't trust no cops unless I'm in a situation where I'm not wrong, and I'm wrong, but I'm not wrong enough to, you know, lose my life about it. And then the man asked Salem if he has anything on him, and Salem, I did not know he had anything on him. He told the man no. The man was like to Salem, bro, I don't want to have to strip search you, like, just be honest. We had a pen too, but like, honestly, I was not even thinking about the pen. Like, bro, this is shit that I do on a daily basis. So like, this stuff be all over my car. Like, this stuff just be all over. Like, you know, I should have to make sure I wasn't leaving nothing, but I really just was not thinking. Like, I wasn't intending on, like, you know, selling nothing and doing nothing. Like, I just wanted to be lit with my man in my fucking Airbnb. I know a lot of y'all in here gonna drag me and be like, don't try to come for them for doing their job. No one's dragging them. I take 100% responsibility for what the fuck I did. When we went inside, they took our passports, and then I was supposed to be declaring my pepper spray, but since it was all in my purse and everything, which is why I took my purse in the first place, it was more so just like a waiting game while they searched our car. So me and Salem was sitting in the border, and bitch, I have my phone, but Salem left his phone in the car by accident through all like the commotion and all the pressing and them telling us get out the car and all this stuff. So I only had my phone. But remember, now we was on Canadian soil, so my Wi-Fi and stuff was really up. I only could connect to the Wi-Fi inside because I had asked them if they had Wi-Fi, and the man tried to be funny and be like, no, use your data. And I was like, there's no cellular around here, and I want to contact my mom and let her know what's going on, because at this point I really knew that I was going to jail. But like, at this point I ain't about to keep crying. I didn't cry at all, but I was very extremely nervous, especially when I knew that we was about to get caught. But after then, I calmed down. I asked the man, did he have Wi-Fi? And he was like, use your data. I was like, I don't have data because I'm not from here. So he gonna be like, well, you do know when you go to a different country, you need to have service. And I was like, I know that, and I don't have it, so what the fuck? Like, he was stressing me out. So then I connect to the Wi-Fi inside, because some gem just gave me the fucking password, or literally told me I can connect from online. This whole entire video is hypothetical, and it cannot be used against me. I am lying. None of this can happen. And yeah, this video is 100% just entertainment. None of this happened to me. Nothing can be used against me. I am 100% lying. This is just for solely entertainment. I start text my mom, I text Sade, and I text Keys. I tell them what situation we're in. I told them, you know, where I'm at. Like, I have my location on, bro. Like, I don't have no Wi-Fi. They found what they found in my car. So I just think that I might go to jail. Even when she went through my purse, y'all, she was pulling stuff out, and she gonna pull out my pre-rolls and be like, are these tobacco? I said yes. And then she was like, what's this? And then it was like some little white, like, bro, it was just mad shit. all over my ass car, and then she found my and I'm just like, all of that is Delta 8. I just kept saying it's all Delta 8, which is legal. Like I said, I was wrong. I know I was definitely wrong, but like, goddamn. She sent our ass inside, and we was just sitting there until they came back in from checking our car. And then when they came back in from checking our car, I seen like my grinder and all the stuff that she had in her hand, and she had it all in Ziploc bags. Like, y'all, it felt like I was literally on an episode of Narcos. Like, she was really just walking in like,
soy el fuego que arde tu piel, soy el agua.
literally all our shit was bagged. Everything that I need to be zen was in that zippy. She calls us up and she's like, we gotta go through everything and they're gonna be fine and all this stuff. So I was like, okay. And she was like, depending on how much it weighs and everything. And I'm just like, oh my God. When she did that, gag at this. And now this is where I get gagged up again, y'all. So the lady calls me to the front and she's like, okay, y'all, at this point, I'm thinking, now I'm calm because I'm like, okay, we're not going to prison because she told us we're not going to jail and that they just need to weigh everything and then that we're not going into Canada and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, no problem. But then, so when I get to the counter, the lady puts my fake ID down, right? And says, I just need some more information. She puts my fake ID down, y'all, on the fucking counter and starts reading the information off. And I realized she starts reading off of the ID. And I didn't want to be that person who was just sitting there letting this do this shit, knowing that when she take it back to process all of that shit is literally going to decline and say does not exist. So I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, like, that ID and that information is not real.
And that's literally how I said it. And when I said that, she automatically was like, oh, so this ID isn't real. I was like, no. So she was like, you know, you're lucky because that's a felony. It's a felony. And I'm like, okay, I understand. And like, I know, I honestly forgot I had it. And she just kept going. And I was just like, I understand. So then she's like, so what's your real address? So I gave her the address to my house because I live in an apartment, but my apartment always messes up my mail. Like literally this apartment be pissing me off. So I didn't want her to go send something to me. Like if I did have to go to court and then I don't get it and then now I have a warrant out for my arrest. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that would blow me. And then she was like, that's the address you live at. And I was like, I have an apartment, but my apartment complex, the mailing.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you where you live.
So I'm just like trying to explain to her that if that's the information she wants to put, but I'm just saying like at your own risk, if you put that address, like I might not get the mail. And she was like, that's not what I asked you. No, I don't care. They need the information of where you currently live, what your current occupation is, going on. So I was like, all right. I felt like she was only getting aggressive again because of the fact that I told her the ID was fake. So, you know, she's just mad because at this point she told us no one going to jail. And then now I tell her that we got a fake ID. The man like tries to turn to me and he's like, you know, ma'am, like we're not trying to do this. Like he even explains like this is Canada. This is not like other countries. But like I said, I felt like they was playing good and bad cop the whole time. She says, you know, she wasn't trying to offend nobody. Like she was just saying, but I was just very overwhelmed by how she was talking to me. So that's that's the reason I got like more stern back with her. I just don't want you to send it and then I don't get it there because
Send it.
oh I just didn't.
The fine is paid here before you leave.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know that. I just didn't want you to send it and then now when I get there, it's no ticket.
I get you.
Because like at the end of the day, we're all adults here and you're not gonna keep calling me a liar and telling me, oh, I'm lying. They all calm down. They all calm that shit the f down. And I was like, you know, I understand, but like I'm not lying. I just wanted to explain to you like what might happen if you try to mail something to me. She's like, I'm not mailing anything to you. So I'm like, okay, that's good. Like,
Bitch, then fill out the information out. Tell you how if I come over this.
let me stop acting like that, girl. That's okay. Yeah. So then after then, they come back and then I have her again. She's on a totally different wavelength and then I know I'm not going to prison. So I'm like, thank fucking Lord, I'm not going to jail. I just didn't want you to put that information. I understand.
I understand what you're saying. It's all good.
Okay, sounds good.
No worries.
Okay.
All right. Everything can be resolved.
Okay, sounds good. Yep.
All right. So have a seat. Okay.
So when I pull up to the counter, they was like, listen, no one's going to jail tonight. Amen. I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. And he was like, but no one's going into Canada neither. Y'all denied. Y'all denied in the UK.
Got denied in the UK. Got denied in UK.
Oh, This part of the story I'm skipping over. Y'all don't care. But basically, they just sent us back to U.S. Customs to collect the things that we had to declare, such as that we pepper spray. Yeah. And at this point, we're going back into Canada. Like, me and Salem have it in our mind that we're not driving 5 hours back home. We're going to just throw away everything that we're not supposed to have and then re-enter, because they told us we could when we left Canada. Yeah. I just thought that at this point, because when he took our passports, I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'm thinking we just run inside and they just hand you over the shit. Like, when you come out of prison and the shit you came in with, they let you out with. I thought like that's what the vibes is going to give, right? And then that was not the vibes that it was given, because when we get there, we're literally sitting there for mad fucking long. So now they search our car with a dog. Like, I guess because Canada just wasn't satisfied with their own search, they was like, oh nah, we finna send them to U.S. Customs with the dog. And they brought a dog now. And he asks me and Salem, oh, do you have anything in the car that could hurt on my pup, such as crack or anything? And I'm like, no, we don't have none of that. And he's like, you know, I doubt it. I just have to ask. Like, nah, you don't doubt. That's why y'all going through that shit right now. I was like, no, I don't have any of those things. Like, you know what? Fuck around and find out. If you find that shit out, who fault that is. You should have mind your motherfucking business. Oh, also too, the lady who was being all rude in the beginning and chill at the end, yeah, she was like, oh, we also put your grinder and your bottles back in the car and everything. Like, that wasn't the issue. It was just the other stuff. And I was like, okay, understandable. And I was like, no problem. So when they came back in and he now had the bottle of alcohol, I'm like, I looked at Salem and I'm like, bro, why the f they keep giving me shit back and then want to criminalize me about it? Like, the man asks me about the bottles, I tell him how I got them. I'm finna come back and then tell the rest of the story when everything is complete, y'all. Yeah, so when I seen him have the bottles, that pissed me off, because I knew they was gonna give me issues about it, because, you know, like, they're purposely taking it out of my car and putting it now in the station area where, you know, they have to test it. Then I seen them come back with my grinder. And I'm just like, bro, like, we just went through this. Because at this point, like, me and Salem asked the people at the border, because our Airbnb is booked. We're supposed to be checking in and we're already late. So, like, bro, we're going to lose that money. Like, it's no such thing as that refund. Like, especially because the day of we're headed there. Like, it ain't even like the day before or something. Like, bro, we were supposed to have been here by 3. It's already now, like, 11. Like, I literally started losing track of time. Like, I don't have my phone. Then when Salem was on his phone, he had to tell this lady to stop being rude, because she was like, can you get off your phone? And Salem was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And she was like, well, if you look anywhere around here, you'll see that they say no cell phone policies. And Salem was like, ma'am, you don't have to be rude. I was gonna put away my phone. And she was like, oh, I'm not being rude. And Salem was like, you're being rude, bitch. Like, stop acting like you're not being rude. In the end, they had called an officer, right? State police. And then they had him write me a ticket. And literally when he was writing the ticket, he was like to me, you know, I don't feel like any of this situation needs to be done, but at the end of the day, they're telling me that, you know, I have to do it. That was like really an experience for me that I never want to be in again. Like, bro, I never want to be in no predicament where, like, I'm dead ass wrong when it comes to law enforcement, because I don't do shit illegal. Like, I literally just be chilling in my own house. So after then, we got the ticket, and then we had asked them if we're able to come back in Canada tonight, because we could not make that 5-hour drive back home. Like, we would have had to find like a hotel or just sleep in the car for the night or something, y'all. Like, at this point, we're gonna lose the money for the Airbnb. Valentine's Day is still coming, so we asked him if we are able to come back, and then the man was like, you know, that's totally up to you. So then me and Salem just tossed everything. Like, we literally drove to a gas station and just threw everything away in the garbage. When we went back, it was a new person now at the window, and same window, new person. And she was like, I seen you guys earlier and I don't know the story. Bitch, how you don't know the story? And then when we coming through, she's gonna be like, so what did you do with the... We were like, we threw it in the trash. What did you do with the pepper spray? We threw it in the trash. So how you don't know the story? You know the story. So they ended up just, she literally just was like, enjoy your stay. Yeah, I had to pay $250 to get my car back, because they told me that my car belonged to Canada because I crossed the border and then I did some illegal ass shit. So they paid my ass. But yeah, y'all, moral of the story is, every time you go somewhere, please, please, please check your stuff. And if you're trying to smuggle, just don't. When I opened my suitcase, when I went to, like, we finally got to Airbnb, because the Airbnb was literally 30 minutes away from the border, y'all. I couldn't find anything. They had like they destroyed our car. Like, they went through everything of my car. Like, they threw my registration just randomly through my car and everything. It's not like it was a mess and then y'all had to go through a mess. It was like 1, 2, 3. Even when you went through my suitcase, I didn't even fold my clothes. Like, I laid the clothes flat. So you could have just lifted them up and put them back down, checked it, and like, nah, you could tell they was like literally tearing my shit up. For what? That is just for me to tell y'all, don't do anything like that. Like, bro, it wasn't even intentional. Like, we had no problem with turning over the stuff, but again, because we was dead just in the wrong, simply just period. Like, just period. Don't lie, just be honest, but just don't do it, if that makes sense. Because I understand why people lie, because like that was such an intense situation. Like, when you tell the truth and then they still hounding you about the truth, it's like, whoa, relax, ho, relax. And that was my story time for today. So I will see you guys in the next one. I think the next one might be my skincare routine, but I keep getting tired, and then I just do the skincare routine. I be like, I don't feel like entertaining the camera. So I want to do my skincare routine in the next one. So yeah, bye. Kisses. Stay smart. Please, please, please make smart decisions. Like, y'all, that quickly, I could have had a felony on my record. I could have went to prison. And yes, even though I'm not like some fucking big ass criminal, I'm still doing dumb shit, and I'm an adult now. You can go to jail now. So yes, thank you guys. Bye.